because y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I flex with you.
Warning, this video is for satire, educational, and comedy use only. It is not intended to be actual fact, nor is it intended to give real meaning to any of the questions you ponder about late night.
Trap News Network. Let's jump right back into this good Kantiana, man. Let's see what's going on with the young and Jefe case by way of Alex Alonso. Let's jump right into this Kantiana, man.
Below. For any of those that want to read it, review it, and I'm going to put a link to a PDF file of these 3 pages below. For any of those that want to read it, review it, you guys might want to cover it. But if you're one of those platforms that has been pushing these false narratives, you ain't qualified to review and read this. So just skip over it.
That nigga said, if you one of them pages that be reading them false narratives, you ain't qualified. That is hilarious.
All right, so on January 31st, 2026, 911 call was made from to report an assault at 6916 Southwestern Avenue in the city of LA. The 911 caller advised that the victim was being assaulted by multiple suspects in the parking lot. Now, here is that parking lot. The parking lot is on the corner of 70th and Western. There's a thrift shop there, there's a mini market, and then there's a laundromat. Fire department announced Mr. Carl Welch dead at the scene on January 31st. Police, LAPD responded, and they picked up some evidence at the scene. They found 5 pieces of broken jewelry and 1 set of veneers belonging to the victim.
Damn! They whooped the veneers out that nigga mouth? God damn! Nigga! What the? Y'all whooped this man's mother veneers out of his mouth? What the is wrong with you? Oh yeah, they whooped it out of that boy. I mean, God mother damn, they just whooped it out this like God shit. What? You know how hard you gotta knock the out of a mother knock the veneers out of their motherfucking mouth? Yeah. The motherfucking veneers? I mean, goddamn, I mean, what the teeth do to you? What? That's gonna look terrible in court. Nigga, you go against a jury and they say that they found this man's veneers or teeth. God damn.
When the detectives got to the scene, first, police, LAPD responded, and they picked up some evidence at the scene. They found 5 pieces of broken jewelry and 1 set of veneers belonging to the victim. When the detectives got to the scene, Mr. Welch was shirtless, lying in a supine position next to the wall with obvious facial trauma, and the victim's black Escalade was parked nearby. Detective Avilar was approached by the victim's girlfriend, and she provided some information on who he was and where he worked. According to this affidavit here, Mr. Welch arrived in the parking lot at 6:20 p.m. It states that the first suspects arrived at 7 p.m. and started to congregate with Mr. Welch. Then at 9:30 p.m., more suspects arrived, including young Aunt Jefe. And then around 9:45 p.m., and this is all according to video surveillance that they have obviously on one of these buildings. Then at 9:45 p.m., all against
Mickey Mondays. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm finna text you.
Mr. Welch begins. At 10:34 p.m., the fire department announced him dead. Now,
wait, let's find that
p.m. and started to congregate. Mr. Welch was shirtless, lying in a supine position next to the wall with obvious facial trauma, and the victim's black Escalade was parked nearby. Detective Avilar was approached by the victim's girlfriend, and she provided some information on who he was and where he worked. According to this affidavit here, Mr. Welch arrived in the parking lot at 6:20 p.m. It states that the first suspects arrived at 7 p.m. and started to congregate with Mr. Welch. Then at 9:30 p.m., more suspects arrived, including young Aunt Jefe. And then around 9:45 p.m., and this is all according to video surveillance that they have, obviously, on one of these buildings. Then at 9:45 p.m., according to the video surveillance, the assault against Mr. Welch begins. At 10:34 p.m., the fire department announced him dead.
Wait, what's
At 10:34 p.m., the fire department, Mr. Welch begins. According to the video, obviously, on one of these buildings. Then at 9:45 p.m., according to the video surveillance, the assault against Mr. Welch begins.
Okay, so at 9:45 is when the situation starts. Okay.
At 10:34 p.m., the fire department announced him dead. At 10:34 p.m., the fire department.
Damn, so for an hour, bro laid there, maybe by himself, maybe still being attacked. But can you imagine what was going on from 9:45 to 10? That's like 50 minutes. That was probably the worst 50 minutes of that man's life. This is incredible. This is incredible.
Department announced him dead. Now, the detective also got in touch with the wife, and the wife made a statement to the police saying that Carl Welch worked at an unlicensed dispensary on Florence and Normandy, and that the owner of this dispensary told the wife that Mr. Welch would hold the rent money in a bag, and he would put that bag in his car. Now, that bag is very important. Don't forget about the bag, that he keeps the rent money in his car. Detectives then went to the dispensary, spoke to the owner to confirm the wife's story, and the owner said, yes, he keeps the rent money in a bag. Now, this video surveillance was reviewed by one of the gang cops out of the 77th Division named Lagunas. Officer Lagunas is from the gang enforcement detail. And let me just state that the gang enforcement detail has been currently halted because of some recent corruption that came up regarding go stops and not turning on body cams during traffic stops. There's more about that in a previous video that I did. But Officer Lagunas is part of this same 77th Division gang enforcement detail, and he watched the video surveillance and he provided what he knew about the people in that video. So Lagunas identified the suspect kicking Mr. Welch in the head as Johnny Gray, also known as North Face. Officer Lagunas personally knows Gray and not only identified him, but he identified his car that was parked in the parking lot.
And that'd be the thing. When you guys do crimes in your community and the same officer see y'all all the time, something as simple as just knowing your car because they're in the same community as you could be an issue. Could be a flu, flam, a skulldug, and a larceny. See, the first thing he said was the man knew the man's car. You feel me? Like, I mean, he could be an ass. I'm not going to say that he not. But what I am saying is, at what point do your local crash and your local gang cop know your car? You're doing something wrong. At that point, your degree in criminalism is not serving you well, bro, because the worst thing for the cops to know is your car, to where they can slide back and be like, hey, that's that nigga right there, just by looking at the car. You feel me? That means that you've been a bad criminal. That means that you haven't really done what you need to do to stay off the radar. That's getting too comfortable. You feel me? Knew him and his car. Nigga, how many times have you encountered this cop? And then how many times have you encountered this cop and then didn't switch up your behavior? It didn't switch up your movements to where this nigga didn't know what you had going on. And then how many times did you encounter this cop and then just be called, oh, he just tripping on me. Oh, you know how niggas are. You know, niggas be in the hood just tripping, man. This is sad though. I shouldn't be able to. I should be able to. But you can't. The moment the police are able to identify you, that man, on God, that means you slow. I can't say it because I'm trying to keep my monetization, but That's what I want to say right there. That's what I want to say right there. You feel me? You can't, you like, nigga, switch. Nigga, get your car painted. Get the car wrapped. Get the car painted. Sell the car. You're not riding around this furthermuck in a Maybach, no way. Sell the Civic and get an Accord. Sell the Maxima and go ahead and get you a K5 Stinger. Switch it up.
Now, LAPD has a documented traffic stop with Gray in that same car on January 9th. LAPD also obtained search warrant for subscriber information, cell phone subscriber information from Google and from his cell phone provider.
Like, nigga, get your car painted. And you niggas is at the scene of the yurder with the phones. You ninjas want to go to Yale. And I don't mean to college. You niggas want to go to Yale. And I don't mean to college.
Which links a phone number to Gray that is also pinging to this location on January 31st. They also tracked that same phone to Mr. Gray leaving LA and going to Las Vegas the very next day.
So they know your car. They tracked your phone. They got you on camera. This is how niggas get caught. This is how niggas get caught. Right here. We're watching it in real time. This is how niggas get caught. This is how niggas get hit with the flu flam. Right here. We're watching it.
Although we don't have the exact number of people that were in that parking lot when this incident happened, Officer Lagunas was able to identify two other people on the surveillance video, one being Young Ant and the other one being a guy named Irvin Theus. Officer Lagunas states that Young Ant appears to intervene in an argument between an unknown person that's there that Lagunas was not able to identify and Young Ant. So Lagunas is actually identifying Young Ant Jefe as the person that is trying to de-escalate the conflict between an unknown person, we'll call him suspect 4, and Young Ant. But then Lagunas later states in this affidavit that Young Ant can be seen striking the victim while he's on the ground.
Damn it, man. Damn. Young Ant, you was almost out. Damn it, man, with a damn it plan. Golly. It looked like Young Ant was a peacekeeper. It looked like he was a mediator. It looked like he was trying to keep down a flu flam, a skulldug, and a larcen. And then you A-town stump. Then you A-town stump. Golly, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's take it to the trap. Trap GPT, I have a question. Can you answer it very simply and to the point?
Absolutely. I've got you. Just ask away and I'll keep it short and clear.
In the state of California, in the city of Los Angeles, when somebody's convicted of felony murder, if one man is being jumped by a group of men and he loses his life, if one person is maintaining that they only kicked him in the head one time, yet the man still lost his life, is that still enough to be charged with felony murder?
Yes, even one kick that contributes to the death could lead to felony murder charges in California if it's part of a larger felony act.
What if there was like a gang issue?
If it's gang-related, California's laws can enhance charges, like adding gang enhancements. That can mean longer sentences or more serious penalties, even if your role seems small.
So basically, he's fucked.
I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but if the evidence ties him in with a felony or a gang enhancement, it's definitely serious trouble. He'd need a strong defense.
So he's fucked. So it's safe to say he's fucked.
It's safe to say he's in a tough legal spot, but final outcomes depend on the full case and defense.
Lagunas was able to identify that Young Ant went to his car and started speaking to Irvin Thomas. Now, Irvin Thomas is, Irvin Theus. Irvin Theus is 21 years old. He is also from ETG. During the assault, actually, Theus was sitting in his car parked right next to Carl Welch's car. Irvin Theus did not participate in the actual assault, but according to Officer Lagunas, when Theus pulled up, he's seen interacting with the victim, then he's seen getting in his car, leaving, and then he comes back in his car shortly before the assault begins against Mr. Welch. But after the assault finishes, Theus goes into the victim's car, grabs a bag, and then gives that bag to young Ant. Now, that's why I said don't forget about a bag. For some reason, in this statement of probable cause, you could tell they're trying to link this bag as to something of value, which is where the robbery comes in.
That's where the robbery is coming in at, because they saying that bag where the money would be, they saying that's where the Chiliana hit, is where the Flu Flam and the Skull Dug and the Larson come in at.
On April 27th, the LAPD decides to issue warrants on 3 people: on young Ant, on Johnny Gray for murder, and they issue a warrant to Irvin Theus for conspiracy. Irvin Theus is the guy seen going in the car, grabbing a few things, specifically that bag, and then giving that bag to young Ant. Also,
damn it. And keep in mind, the bag is allegedly holding the rent money for the tree shop. Allegedly, that money in that bag was from the rent from the tree shop. Goddamn.
They took Carl Welch's Escalade and they dusted it for fingerprints, and Irvin Theus's fingerprints are all over the car. So not only is he seen on video going into the car, they have his fingerprints on the car. And I just have a few questions before I wrap this up. I wonder why it took till April 27th to issue warrants when this offense happened on January 31st. Maybe it took some time for Officer Lagunas to identify people in that parking lot. Maybe he actually didn't know who they were and had to do some research to figure it out.
And this is what your little word on the curb to answer that question for Alex Alonso. A little word on the curb, little word from a bird. It seems to me that the dude Lagunas had a bunch of other cases that he was going on. He's not the most, upright cop. They say he a little shady, a little crooked. So they say that he had other things going on his desk, and he just happened to have had, now he has time to get to this because he was backlogged. So they say.
I don't know. Even after the warrants were issued in April, why did it take almost a month to actually make their arrests? Everyone was accessible. They knew where all these guys lived and were at. I want to know why Officer Lagunas, the 77th gang detective, if he's the gang expert for A-Tray gangsters, and there's a bunch of people in that parking lot, why he's only able to identify 3? He didn't even identify the original person arguing with Mr. Welch, the one that young Ant is breaking it up. He's trying to de-escalate it. Lagunas doesn't even know who that person is. Are they going to link this bag to the rent money for the dispensary? And let me just add that this dispensary is unlicensed. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But it is an unlicensed.
It is an unlicensed dispensary. So that don't mean that they won't be able to, that the dispensary will not be able to file an insurance claim. But at the same time, in the same token, it does not negate the fact that this is still a robbery connected to a Yamayai. You feel me? So,
dispensary. Now it says young Ant was de-escalating, but then at the same time, in the very next sentence, it states that he assaults the victim. And both can be true. But if you're seen on video clearly trying to stop the conflict, what changed? What happened to where now you're participating in the assault? Don't know. And nothing in this probable cause describes a motive. It doesn't state whether this was a DP. Could this have been possibly something else? I don't know. And lastly, the biggest thing is that we all know that Young Ann is in the county jail on a $2 million warrant. And so is Johnny Gray. Johnny Gray actually has a slightly higher warrant. He's at $2,285,000 for his bail. Let me see. He's at $2,050,000.
Now, the whole aspect of the unlicensed weed shop, that is a whole case within itself. Unfortunately, having an unlicensed weed shop does not give somebody the right and the rhyme and the reason to take your life. So the weed shop being unlicensed is not going to make a reasonable judge say, well, he was operating a reasonable unlicensed weed shop, so he deserves to lose his life. That's not quite how that goes.
But the third suspect, Irvin Theus. Irvin Theus was arrested on the same day as Young Ann and North Face were. That's May 19th. But it states here, and he had $1 million bail when he was taken into custody. But on May 21st, just 2 days later, Irvin Theus, this is the person that is seen going through the car of the victim, taking things out the car, and then giving a bag to Young Ann. This guy was released from custody on May 21st. And the reason for the release says per 849B1 PC. 849B1 PC. And basically that means when you're released on 849B1, that means you are arrested without a warrant, but the police or the prosecutor decided there was insufficient evidence to file a criminal complaint. Legally, this action is reclassified as a detention only, meaning the arrest never formally happened and no charges are being filed at this time. So that is the biggest question that I have, because
But it doesn't mean that he won't be charged. It just means that he hasn't been charged yet, is what it sounds like.
according to Detective Rudy Avelar, Irvin Theus clearly was arrested with a warrant. On April 27th, Ramey arrest warrants were issued for Irvin Theus for conspiracy. And then for Irvin Theus for conspiracy.
Damn. So now you got the cop. It's a lot of flammery, skullduggery, and larceny in here, man. You got dirty cops. You got DPs. You got illegal weed shops. You got money being taken. You got veneers in the parking lot, nigga, to knock the man's veneers out of his mouth. It's a lot going on in this case, bro. It's a lot going on.
Conspiracy. And then Detective Lagunas claims that you can see Mr. Theus going through the car of the victim. But he was released.
Oh, not the cop got conspiracy. The other nigga got conspiracy. Okay, got it. I had that misconfused. My bad. I had it misconstrued. Young and homie got hit with the conspiracy.
And that's all I have on the update of this case. I'll pin this probable cause statement by the LAPD in the description below. And thanks for tapping in with Street TV.
Hey, man, that's Alex Alonso. Make sure you give him a like, a comment, and subscribe. Big shout out to Alex Alonso.
Here we go.
Big shout out to Alex Alonso and everything that he has going on over at Street TV. If you ain't did so, hit him with a like, with a comment, with a good subscribe. But y'all know, man, red dots to the left. You know the rest. News Network, I'm glad that you enjoyed that content. We heard the cries, we heard the complaints. Now we don't got no intro, but we do got an outro with the same information, man. Make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure you dropping comments. Make sure you dropping likes. Make sure you subscribing to everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network, because we will be giving away some more Chiliana once we hit that 40,000 membership, 40,000 subscriber, threshold. We're gonna make sure that we give y'all some Chiliana, man. So make sure that y'all stay tapped in. Make sure y'all stay looking out. Make sure y'all stay right here at TNN Trap News Network. the news you can use, the knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We're gonna keep you updated on what's going on these YouTube streets. You already know the deal, man. If you enjoyed this content, throw the red dot to the left. You know the rest. We gone.
Hi, I'm Whack 100. When I'm not snitching on the internet, I'm snitching in real life for your own personal home security. Call 1-800-WACK-ATTACK. We're first, law enforcement second. Hey, I'm Adam22. Got an extra soul laying around? Be like Doughboy and Whack 100 and sell yours today. One soul equals a lot of clout.